As Americans continue to face new and difficult challenges, Hiring America is speaking with experts and inspirational figures around the country to help support our veterans and their families during this trying time. This week, we're speaking with Bob Roth, one of the most experienced meditation leaders in America. Best-selling author, CEO of the David Lynch Foundation, director for the Center of Health and Wellness, and host of the Sirius XM radio show Success Without Stress, and the podcast Stay Calm with Bob Roth. Bob, thanks so much for joining us here on Hiring America. Great to see you.
I'm so happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this interview, and I love the work you do, and I love the mission and the vision of what you're trying to do to help veterans and their families all across the country. So I'm happy to be here.
Bob, this is obviously a period of great unrest and uncertainty for many around the world. What have you been hearing from our veterans and others about how all of this turmoil is affecting their mental and emotional well-being?
We know it's overwhelming. I mean, uncertainty, to have an uncertain future and to not feel you're in control is among the most profound stressors. So our veterans who already are dealing with issues of uncertainty and unease, profound unease, to add this to the whole mix, very difficult time for them.
You're a leading figure in the field of meditation, specifically Transcendental Meditation, or TM, something you've been teaching for over 45 years now. What is Transcendental Meditation?
Wonderful questions. Transcendental Meditation is a very simple, natural, effortless technique that's practiced for 15 to 20 minutes, sitting comfortably in a chair with your eyes closed. And what happens during the technique is, imagine like a metaphor of an ocean, choppy waves on the surface and sometimes tsunami-esque waves on the surface. Yet deep inside every one of us, there's a level where our mind is already settled and peaceful and calm and wide awake. And Transcendental Meditation is a simple, as I said, a simple, natural, effortless technique that allows your active thinking mind to just access that peace and quiet that lies within. Here's the great thing. That sounds all well and good and very poetic, but how do we know that's happening? From research. When we do that short 15 or 20 minute practice of TM, your body gains a state of rest, Lauren, deeper than the deepest part of deep sleep. And it allows stress hormones like cortisol, which make us feel anxious. If we get a good night's sleep, cortisol levels will drop 5 or 10% during 20 minutes of that meditation, 15, 20 minutes. They drop 30 to 40%. So it's profoundly relaxing, gets rid of stress, and actually wakes up the brain.
People often have preconceived notions on what meditation might entail. What are some misconceptions about Transcendental Meditation?
I'm like a skeptic. I love science. I'm not into new age mumbo jumbo. I like stuff to be real. I like big ideas, but I like things to be real. So for a person skeptical about meditation, Lauren, I think it's healthy. And so with something like meditation in general, there's so much research now that clearly delineates that there are some techniques that are very effective, like Transcendental Meditation, and there's a lot of garbage, just like there's medicines that are effective and medicines that are garbage. This meditation, TM, actually has its origins in the warrior classes of ancient times. This was a warrior's meditation. Today, it's practiced by professional athletes, football players, basketball players, hockey players. It's in the active duty military. It's for someone who wants to be steady inside and powerful outside. It's a warrior's meditation.
What does TM actually involve, if you can go into the specifics for people watching saying, hey, I want to give it a shot?
Transcendental Meditation, unlike all these apps and things like that, you're taught by a trained teacher, a very skilled teacher. And it takes about an hour a day over 4 consecutive days. And during that time, you're given a sound, a little word or a sound that has no meaning, a couple of syllables, and then you're taught how to use it properly, how to allow your active thinking mind to just calm down easily and effortlessly. And I do want to make a point. It happens immediately. This isn't something that takes weeks and months to occur. It happens within the first hour or two of instruction. And I should also add that we have taught maybe 10,000 veterans to meditate in the last few years, all over the country. And we're working with VA hospitals all over the country and veteran service organizations like Boulder Crest. There's a huge demand among veterans because veterans, down to earth, they want something that's going to work, The wonderful thing about this is you don't have to believe in it. It's not something you do in a group. You learn it, and then it's yours to take home with you.
Why is transcendental meditation so beneficial for groups who've experienced trauma?
Well, the David Lynch Foundation was established to bring the technique, TM, to individuals, first and foremost, like veterans who have served our nation well and have brought home with them or experienced some trauma has come to them. Inside, they're healthy people. Something has happened to them. And so from the beginning, we wanted to make this available for free to veterans who have served our country. We also work with kids, often in under-resourced schools. We're now working on the front lines with doctors and nurses and other healthcare providers who are also suffering from PTS, who are dealing with this COVID epidemic. So I would just say, if you've tried meditation and it hasn't worked, try Transcendental Meditation. Again, it's free for veterans, and we are now working with the Veterans Administration to do these large studies, so it'll be reimbursable for every veteran to go to a VA hospital or else go to a Transcendental Meditation Center anywhere in the country and learn to meditate for free. And I want that to happen with family members as well.
So how do veterans access these free classes?
They could email me. I'm going to give you my personal email address. Yep, my personal email, and because I will take care of you. You email me at bob@davidlynchfoundation.org, bob@davidlynchfoundation.org, and I will get back to you with the name of a meditation teacher in your area. And then I'll write a note to the meditation teacher and say, this person can learn as a gift from the David Lynch Foundation for the wonderful service that he or she has provided to our country.
Bob, where does the desire come from for you to give back and do this and make sure our veterans in particular have access to this for free?
My father was a World War II veteran. He was a medical doctor, and he served in Europe and came back with a terrible physical disability, a fused hip and tremendous pain his whole life. And obviously, as a doctor on the front lines, he had emotional trauma as well. And he worked at the VA hospital in San Francisco, Fort Miley. And he used to come into my room and say, Bobby, he called me Bobby. He'd say, Bobby, I'm going to take you out to Candlestick Park to see Willie Mays. But before you do that, I'm just going to stop at Fort Miley for just a minute and read one X-ray. And well, of course, one X-ray turned into 4 or 5 hours. And I remember sitting, in a chair on a bench and just seeing these, mainly men at the time, rolling back and forth in their wheelchairs. And at an early age, and the suffering I saw my father from an early age, I thought, here's a meditation that's supposed to be practiced by warriors. Let's bring it to the warriors.
What's your message to members of the military community and veterans about transcendental meditation? What do you want them to take away from this whole interview?
When we think about health, when we think about peak performance, everyone knows it's not just from the neck down. It's not just my muscles. It's not just what I've eaten, my exercise. There's this 3-pound organ, the brain, that runs the show. If we want resilience, if we want peak performance, if we want to give our men and women tools to handle the inevitable stresses and toxic stresses and traumas that come into their lives, we have to look outside the box. We have to be innovative, but we don't have to be non-scientific. So Transcendental Meditation, or TM, or whatever you want to call it, is a simple technology, a simple tool that allows anyone, any member of the military and family member, to access profoundly deep rest at will, wake up the creative centers in the brain, improve reaction time, improve resilience, allow us to sleep better at night and be more energetic during the day. What better tool could we provide our military when we think of training them, either in basic training or throughout life?
Bob, thank you so much for joining us on Hiring America.
Absolutely wonderful. And I'm so grateful to have met you and to have this interview, one of my favorite ones that I've ever done in my life. And I've done a lot. So thank you for your wonderful questions.
Well, that's a real honor. Thank you.